Hey guys, it's Chris and Josh here again. We got another should we call this one a novel idea, Josh?
Uh,
Or do we
how about a comic idea?
a comic idea? Yeah, I like that. So we got a comic idea. We're sitting here tonight with Jeff Simon, creator and writer for a new comic that is available right now on Kickstarter called Sleeping Betty. You can see Josh has got the cover there behind him, and Jeff is wearing the shirt with Sleeping Betty on it, which is very cool. I would rock one of those if I had one for sure. Um, so Jeff reached out to us. I guess it was Saturday of last week, and asked us if we'd like to review it. And Josh and Jeff, let me go ahead and tell you, I was intrigued and really liked, read, and saw when I started that. So, Jeff, kind of give us an idea of what you kind of thought about and how you came up with this idea. So,
So initially, kind of came up with an idea. We had somebody who contacted us about possibly making a 8-page book. Um, so I just kind of came up with it on a whim. Managed to get it all written, get it all set to go, and then the person that asked us about it kind of backed out, so it sat for a bit. I got lucky enough to get contacted by Marcelo Slaza, who did the interior artwork as well as the cover you see there. Um, just out of nowhere, he kind of reached out on Instagram and um, asked if I had anything that we were ready to go with. And so at the time I didn't, but I managed to sell a bunch of stuff on Whatnot and made enough money off of that that I came back to him and said, I'm ready to go. So he and I talked and we started working on it. Initially, it was just an 8-page. Um, we were going to do an 8-page and just do different covers for it, and then decided I wanted to continue it and decided, okay, let's go with the full 16 and make it at least a comic that could potentially end up in a comic shop, versus an 8-page. A lot of comic shops are less likely to carry that for you. And so yes, we went to 16 and contacted some of the artists that I'm friendly with, including John Vasquez, Bruno Sales, and Greg Bo Watson, as well as Gwen. I'm not real sure how to pronounce her last name. I know she's Canadian, so it's a
yeah,
little different.
yeah.
But I had contacted them about doing covers for. Actually, I hadn't contacted Greg Bo at the time. I had talked to the other two about it. I happened to be at Heroes Con and had met with him last year just as a fan to go see, what he had going on. This year, when I went back to talk to him, he remembered me and I showed him the book. And at the time, I actually got a couple of them slabbed and I only had the slabs to show him. And he loved the idea and he loved what was there currently. And right off bat, without even looking at it, told me that he wanted to do a cover. So he got brought on it and started doing a cover for us also.
Yep, we know Greg Bow. Greg Bow does great work.
Yep.
Yeah, he does. He does. And I've gone through the whole Kickstarter and looked at all the covers. They're all great covers. I
Yes.
Yeah.
mean, every one is I would put in my personal collection because they're just great covers all the way through. So 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 diving into a little bit, let's dive in a little bit into the actual book itself, Sleeping Betty. Um, when I read it, I got the you know, started off and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I got almost like a female, without giving away too much because I want our readers to read it, a female certain horror character that has claws for fingers and you
Yes.
don't wake up from your dreams.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much what I've been telling people is again, I don't want to give it away, but it's a cross between that and a character that was on TV at one point that assisted the police, even though I don't think they really knew he was really helping them. So
Yeah.
I'll kind of
Yeah.
throw it out that way, a little, think you have to work
Yeah.
for it some.
Yeah.
I like the title, the play on Sleeping Beauty with Sleeping Betty. That was a great play on it. And when I first saw it, I'm like, well, how is the sleeping going to play into it? But once I get into it, I was like, this is really cool. This is a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, it was just an original idea. I didn't funny enough, didn't really think deep into it. It was just, okay, how do I make a quick 8-page script and run it from there? And it's just kind of popped in and was like, oh, here you go.
Okay. And yeah, and so I know, let's go ahead and let everybody know that it is available on Kickstarter right now, that you can order this thing. While we're filming this, I think maybe what, there's 9 days left on the
Yep.
Kickstarter, somewhere around that. But by the time we get this up, it should be about a week left on it. So don't sleep on it. It's a really don't sleep on
We don't
Sleeping
sleep
Betty.
on it.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
I did that without even thinking, but now that you've it's already reached its funding goal, and you know that it's going to come out, um with the idea of what's going on, have you started thinking about maybe, what the next issue is going to look like, kind of what your backstory is going to be on some of the stuff in the book, because her scarf is really a cool part, and I'd like to know the backstory on that.
Yeah.
So
So,
the next issue of my plan is to kind of give it a little more backstory on it, to kind of explain who she is, where it came from, where I guess where her abilities, if you want to call it that. I mean, I don't know if you really call it that,
right,
but
right,
like where that came from. Um, there's some references in the book itself as to kind of a little bit of a history for her. Um, and then along the way, still bringing in, a little bit of what happens in this issue and how do I continue it through and still have her doing what she's doing.
Yeah. And I'm intrigued with the relationship between her and the cops,
Mhm.
because that gets a little complicated in the first issue.
And
yeah,
that was the goal, is to make
Yeah.
it, a little uncomfortable for people in a sense, like how is this going to work out and what's going to happen here.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, I sat down when you sent it to me and got a chance to read it, and like I said, from page one, I was taken in. The artwork inside is really good as well. Your artist did an amazing job with it. There was, it popped. I like to say the word pop. It popped really well. Uh, just really good looking art, and sometimes you can find good art and not have a good story to go along with it, but this book's got the best of both because your story is in there as well. So I guess is this the I think in passing, you had said that maybe this is your first comic that you've released.
That This is the first comic that I've ever done, that I've ever written, created, had pushed all the way through the process. The company Unity Comics, I'm a partner in that, and we've created a couple of other books before, but they're not traditional comics. They're actually more of a biographical book on pinup artists from the 1940s. So this is the first actual traditional comic that we've produced.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, well, I would say it's a really, really good first comic.
Yes.
we've been reading for, I guess we've been doing the channel, what, about 3.5 years now, Josh?
About
Uh,
that.
reading a, we've been reading a lot of comics, and we see a lot of good ones, we see a lot of bad ones too, but I definitely, this is something that I would pick up and read again, and also would continue to collect, right from it'd be on my pull list at my shop for sure, when it hits stores. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's, I mean,
yeah,
to me, that
yeah,
means a lot when, when it becomes, or when somebody thinks that highly of it, that they would be willing to put it on a pull list, and that they'd be willing to
yeah,
still invest their time and their money in picking up more issues.
Well,
yeah,
let's
absolutely.
talk about what we've got out there right now. There's a lot of comics that are the same thing over and over again. There's a lot to be said for the nostalgia of what's coming out, things that we grew up with that are coming out. We don't get a lot of original IP with original interesting ideas, and Sleeping Betty is one of those original interesting ideas with a little connection to history that has me intrigued because I'm a big
Yeah,
history buff. I teach sixth grade ancient history in school, so
Okay.
I love the history connection there. I'm interested to see where that's going.
Well, like I said, I want to try and, explain a little bit of where things came from, the bit of history that is thrown in there. How do I weave that in as well? And kind of, add to it, make it even maybe add a little more to it and make it a little more intriguing as it goes along.
Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely. And I think I counted like on Kickstarter. I know there are one, two, is it three? Your A, B, and C cover, and then you've got the special covers from Greg Bow. And I know there was a Catwoman, Julie Newmar looking
Yep.
Catwoman up there. There's a Storm as well. Um, and I want to say there was one more. I'd have to go back and look
That's
again, but
that's all there is. Just
Yeah.
those. There's
okay,
Storm's got three different versions. Catwoman has got two, and then the others all have two. The A and B are both done by Marcelo. Um, like I
okay,
said, the
yeah,
A cover is the one that you're seeing up on the screen. That was
yeah,
the first one he did for the preview edition that we created, and then he wanted to do another one for the regular. So we decided, I'm going to run them
gotcha.
both, and we'll see how it goes.
That's cool.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And then
Well,
there's
again,
the
he's a
the
great artist.
not safe for work covers.
There are
Yeah,
definitely some more adult covers in
Yes.
there.
yeah,
But there's
yeah,
also for every adult cover, there is a nice cover as well, like
Right.
a
yeah.
Right. Clean
PG-13 cover,
version.
I'll call it.
Yeah.
Right,
Cool.
right. And as you can tell, I'm wearing my Batman shirt, so I'm a huge Batman fan. And the Julie Newmar one caught my attention too because I love Catwoman and the old Batman 66. They were my favorites. So
Well, Julie
um
Newmar to me is
I
always the
don't
best Catwoman. Like
yeah,
it came up as a conversation with among friends, and they all thought that it was Michelle Pfeiffer, and I was like, "You guys are crazy! It's Julie Newmar," and they were like, "Who is she?" Like they had no idea who she was, and I'm like, "How do you call yourself a fan of comics, especially a fan of Batman, and not know Julie Newmar from the
Yeah.
original show?" So, you know,
exactly, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's been what, maybe four or five iterations, and she is by far the Catwoman,
yep.
you know. So yeah, yeah. We won't even talk about that bad Halle Berry movie.
Nah, that doesn't really count.
That one doesn't count. That one doesn't count.
But I knew I
Yeah,
wanted to
so
get one done, and that's why I asked Bruna to do the Catwoman and or the yeah to do the Catwoman, and she was all for it. She wasn't sure exactly how to make it look like her without it making it look like her. And so I had to give her, little reference pieces here and there. And she came back and I think she drew a beautiful, beautiful piece.
yeah, yeah, it's a gorgeous cover. It really looks good, and yeah, it's like you said, it's Julie Newmar without being Julie Newmar in a way.
Yep.
So I really, yeah, I appreciated that one. Um, and obviously Greg Bowes are always cool. I love his work,
Yes.
so he does some really cool stuff. So
I love the
yeah,
fact that he
so
did the
there's
original character. I thought that was a
yeah,
pleasant
yeah.
surprise because I didn't know what he was going to do. He just told me he wanted to do a cover and I was like, okay, whatever you want to do. I mean, you're Greg Bow. You do what you want, right? And he came
Yeah,
back with that one and I
exactly,
thought it was
exactly.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. He does really good work. So I know like on the Kickstarter, you do have available, you have a digital edition.
Mhm.
You can also get cover A by itself, cover B by itself. And then if you keep going down, there's a lot of different combinations you can get as well. So I'm gonna have that Kickstarter link up here, guys. I would say going up there. Like I said, it'll be Saturday, so probably 7 days left, plenty of time to go up there. The pricing is right on, guys. A lot of people do Kickstarters and you can barely afford to buy the books because they're so expensive. These are reasonably priced where you could go ahead and just add all of them to your collection and help us get issue number two because we already know it's funded, but the more money Jeff gets, the more quicker he can get around to doing book two. So
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a great price for a great story. I mean, I really
yeah.
enjoyed it. I love the link. Your characters are well written. You know, I like the characters. I kind of got upset when one of them something happens to him in the book. I'm like, oh no, are we going
Yeah,
there already? You know,
yeah,
And you never know. You
yeah,
never know what's going to happen.
yeah,
That's the beauty of it is
exactly.
that it could be, she could go anywhere or do anything she needs to. And so, you know,
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Um, so I guess we'll go ahead and ask. As this continues to obviously funded the first one, um, what's your kind of like goal for this story? How many issues in the back of your brain would you be thinking, how many issues of this would I love to have available at one time?
I mean, I'd ultimately love to get to about six. I don't know if,
Okay, okay.
a lot of it is just me thinking up the stories. So who knows? I mean, six could be, but it could go as long as it wants to go, I guess. And, if
Yes,
I got the opportunity, I'd certainly love to go further.
awesome, awesome. Awesome. Well, you heard that, guys. So go to Kickstarter and support this book because coming from two comic book guys, Josh and I, we really enjoyed it. And sometimes I like something Josh want. This is one that we actually agree on. That it's just a great book. Great art, great story, great all the way around. So
I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but the whole historical bit, man. I know where you're coming from with the one person, but having studied history and the history, you could actually tie that way back into history too. It
Yeah,
could go even farther back.
and you never know. Like I
Yeah.
said, just because you have some idea now, you don't know what its real back history is. And so,
Yes.
you know,
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's the and that's cool. So we're gonna stop spoiling. We're gonna let you guys actually order this book and get it and read it. So you're closing in about 7 days. Do you have some kind of ballpark of when they will ship or anything like that? Do you have a delivery date on those or
we're looking at what? So it'll end somewhere around the end of this month, about a week before the end of the
yeah,
month. Probably looking at the latest, October 1 would be
Okay.
my, for
okay,
shipping at the latest. It's a matter of just how
nice.
quickly can the printer get it done and get it sent to me. As soon as I have the books, I'll send them right out. So shipping them out as soon as they're
Nice.
arrived is only probably, a couple days.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool, cool.
So my
Yeah,
hope is
yeah,
to get
you're
it out
kind
as
of at
soon
the
as
mercy of
possible.
the printers.
Yeah, but I want to
Yeah,
get it out as soon as
that's
possible for
cool.
everybody and, get it in people's hands. I want people to, like you guys, get a chance to read it and enjoy it and see what you think.
Right, right.
Definitely. Definitely.
Awesome, awesome. And what we're hoping to see is Jeff Simon set up at a convention one day with his books on a table where
Yes.
you can walk up and buy them. Yep,
Maybe, maybe he'll be at the Friends of the Brothers Boyd Comic Con issue 3.
three
Maybe we can
in
bring him down for that
2026.
for
Yep,
next year.
absolutely, absolutely. That would be cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, it has been really awesome talking to you, Jeff. Again, we appreciate you sending us an advanced copy of the book and letting us read it. We want other people to read it. We're going to push it across our channel. We're going to push it at our local comic shop. We're going to tell these people to jump on this thing before it disappears. And we look forward to talking to you again when it's time for issue 2 to hit that Kickstarter.
Sounds great. I'll be sure, once issue 2 is done, I'll be sure to send you guys a copy so you can get on that one too.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate your
Yes.
time.